Hello, hello, my crafty friends. It's time for crafty connection time. And we're going to look at these jars that I keep saying I'm going to play with, and then I don't. So I figured now is a great time to be able to check it out, see what we think. Gosh, that's actually pretty straight. And give me a few minutes here to get myself set up, which you know can take a little bit of time. So I don't want to quite say that we're going to do Christmas in July, but we kind of are going to do a few little things because these cards offer, or stamp sets offer that as an option. Put those down there. So if you have any of these sets, which is the Jar of Joy and the Sweet Jar and the Jar Punch, I'm going to play with that. Alrighty, I've got myself pulled up everywhere. This is great stuff. Great stuff. I like it. And I just can wait for y'all to get online and cut up some paper that might work with these. You know, this one's pretty Christmassy, and then this one here is sort of in all sorts of things with jelly beans and shamrocks and hearts and birthday candles. We could use them for birthday candles. And then I want to give you a sneak peek of some upcoming paper that should show up. Plus, I found just some old paper, and I'm sure we all have it, where you have this old paper and you're like, oh, what am I doing with this? Or what am I going to do with that? So Birds of Winter is sticking around in case you were wondering. Hey Barbara, how are you? I just saw your order. Thank you so much. Now let's see what's in here. So I'm like just grabbing things out of here that I've got sort of made but not done anything with. So here's some paper we might be able to pull off something with. But Birds of Winter is a paper that is still available, and I think it's super cute. The dies will cut out the birds. Birds don't so much fit with the jars, maybe, I don't know, but there's a snowman one that'll work with. So you see, just kind of picking and choosing through these packs that I have open that I need to make some of my own cards for them. So how was your week? I can't believe we're on Thursday, you guys. That seems to have gone crazy fast. Oh, I have this one too. Hi, Maureen. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. I have a little bit of, let's see, Marbled Elegance and Regal Distressed paper here that I've kind of pulled out to see what we can do with just scraps of stuff that I have. Like I said, I'm not going all out crazy. I found Take a Bow, and gonna make that part of my giveaway today. So if you like free paper, stick around. Keep those out here. This is part of that Regal Distressed. And an Elegance pack. So if you have these papers from last year, you could get Regal Distressed. Yeah. You could get started on your Christmas cards with these, particularly with this set, if you wanted to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could definitely take advantage of. This is the Regal Winter that went with Regal Distress. And Regal Winter is not. There might still be some paper but that's not what I'm after. I want the distressed paper. Love the set, haven't done anything. Well, I'm on the love that set, haven't done anything yet group, and I've just decided that this would be a really good way to do something with that paper. So this is really pretty paper, you guys, if you haven't looked at this Regal Distressed paper. And then there's Pretty Peacock, has some really pretty stuff. A pretty pattern that's in here. Actually, this takes up room. So we'll get rid of that and just put this into here. Did I keep this paper? I thought this paper stuck around too. I could be wrong. Which paper was this? Seasons of Elegance. Yes. And Season of Green and Gold is also still here. I can't reach green and gold. So that's, we're not gonna get too excited about that, but I do happen to have these cute little trees in here, which, you know, may not work, but I also have this green, which will work possibly with some of the other stuff. So we've pulled out a couple things. I've given y'all a little bit of time, hey Di, to get on board here, and let's see what we can create. We're gonna play with this jar set here, and you know, I have these peppermints, and one of these sets of peppermints will be a giveaway too, so you might want to stick around. I put out some of the colors that I've used, and I pulled out Basic Beige too. A little trick I'll show you with that. Espresso, Granite, Pecan, Cherry, Garden, Spruce, Red, Navy, and Moonlight. My shortened version of all of this. And this is the beige. And the beige is really good because it's really light, which then means you can come back in and color things in if you wanted to. Of course, you don't have to do that by any stretch of the imagination, but you can. It's important to note that these two sets work extremely well with this punch. And this is the jar punch, and I put the link in the description for it. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but we are definitely using it. And here I've done some jars. The jars are different in both sets, and the lids are also different. So you're not getting the same images, even though they work pretty close in here. There's some differences. You can see just in like the etching around the outside of them is different. This one has stuff across, this one doesn't. So know that you do have some options here with having two different jars. And the lid solid versus, here's the lid that's open and you can color it. Oh, yay, I'm glad you got the package. Thank you for letting me know. It's always nice to know that they haven't lost everything. Now this punch is super easy to use, and I had another piece of paper down here. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. I'm going to move my inks out of there and just set them up where I can just grab what I need, and I'm going to also put my stamp sets just up and clear off my working space a little bit. I'm going to grab one of my longer pieces of paper here, white paper, because I wanted to show you just seriously how simple this is. And because I thought I might be using alcohol markers, I am going to use my Memento. So these store flat, which is a game changer, guys. Pop this up, and you just put this in. You could do it that way, but I can't see what I'm doing if I do that. So I always do this, and then it pops everywhere. Okay. This is very easy punch to use too. A lot of times you have to squeeze on things. You can do this with two hands, and you can see it just pops out really nice and easy. I know that sometimes people's punches go dull, but I have never experienced that yet. The ones that, you know, I only have been with Stampin' Up for a year and change, but for the most part, their punches are pretty solid. I have a couple of the circle ones that they've had from before, just, and like some banner ones, because I found those to be super easy to use. So I have that around, and those are still sharp. So I don't know what anybody else's experience is, but that's been mine. If somebody wants to share about theirs and how they stay sharp or don't stay sharp, love to hear it. All right, here's mine. These are acrylic, and so a lot of times it is best to stamp this. I'm just going to show you what this looks like. And how, honestly, so some of the dies I struggle with being able to stamp very well. There's just not a lot of forgiveness in it, but this punch has a lot of forgiveness, so that makes me excited to use it. And you just go down. This is clear. Set it down. Drop it off. See how simple that is? There's one. And we'll just keep these extra over here. Here's the second one. There we go. I'm pulling down a little bit on the lower side because I'm not standing over the top to stamp these. So know that you will be able to get a much better image than what I'm giving you right now. Because if I do this, and I wanted you to be able to see it, you can see that's pretty good. And that's the outline, so you could make your jar color lid whatever you wanted it to be. And this is solid. And I did my other solid ones in Espresso. Here it is. And I did some of those in granite gray. I was after silver, but I didn't really get, you know, because like I'm thinking, well, actually the mason jars are not. They're more of a kind of gold color. Okay. And so that kind of has that like wooden jar that you would have on your counter that you would pull up. That would be the cookie jar. Okay. So this is a really pretty paper. I think it would look good with gingerbread. How many people like gingerbread? Whoops, that's not the gingerbread one. I'm kind of headed towards doing cards these days, Christmas cards. It's really too soon, but still kind of feeling the oomph to get that done. So this is cool because this is an outline stamp and an inside stamp. I call them two-step stamping. So I'm going to use my pecan pie because this is a gingerbread, right? Gingerbread has pecan. Looks like this pretty pecan when it's cooked. And that's the solid part. And then we have the outline, which we're going to pick up. So let me know who's played with this. I know that some people have it. Maureen was sharing that she had it, but she hadn't played with it yet. Making sure I have my pecan pie. I'm going to grab myself some scrap paper really quick. And this is going to go into the jar. This part, not so much the issue. Let's do a couple of those just for the heck of it. It's, I think, super cute, you guys. Who loves gingerbread? Used to be one of my daughter's favorite things to make, because you could decorate it, and that decorating meant you had all those candies running around, right? So pull these back up, pop that closed. As a reminder, tomorrow morning is the day that we're going to do the Stamp It Your Way class for June kit, which is the Floral Elegance, which is using the washi tape. So this, guys, is the outline. And this, you just want to be a little bit more careful, because you need to line up Mr. Gingerbread's little dots, buttons, and his bow, and then the different parts of that. And it provides a little bit of shade in there. I think this is super cute. And well, I have a husband that's on strike for doing Christmas cards. His strike has to do with them increasing prices at Christmas time and then not lowering them back down. Of course, I get stuck having to do it no matter what, meaning pay for it. Okay, there's some cute gingerbreads. Let's take a peek at what else we can do with this. Kind of like the snowman too, you guys. And I'll take my gingerbread off because I'm going to need to do this. Let's grab that snowman. He's kind of cute. And the snowman is very simple, but he has this super duper cute. Let me grab a small block here. One day I'm going to have all these blocks fall off and it'll be just a hot mess. Not saying it's not now, Don. Oops, there goes one. Here we go. Get some babies out here. And there are two cute little things. One has this scarf and like hat cover. Red for that stamp, for the gingerbread. Yeah, I could see that being really super cute. Yeah, definitely could see that. I am going to use with this is snowflakes, just as a reference for what I'm pulling out here. Because this is kind of could be a snow globe, right? So here we are. And I'm going to grab out my Night of Navy. And I'm going to do Cherry Cobbler for this gentleman, Snowman's. And I'm going to do the dark for the outline. So you're kind of working with me here as you kind of see how I'm going to create things. I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight for the snow that's falling. So here goes our cute little snowman. We'll do two of those too. I have no idea what we're going to end up with. But I just, it's like Maureen, I have the stamp, thought it was a fantastic idea with the punch, because, you know, for my people without crickets, that's really good. Let's see how hard it is to do our cherry on here. Now, this has the hat band and the scarf. Cute. And remember, be really careful about how much ink. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull this towards me so I can line this up, and then I'll send it back. This has been one of the easier sets, just saying, with making the punches and stamping the punches. And there we go. All right, who's in love with the snowman? I used to have tons of snowman decorations. I don't so much now because we didn't bring that over. I offloaded a bunch of that. And then we're going to take them and we're just going to add some cute little snow. Now, cute little snow means that you should also have some glitter on this, right? But let it dry. I'm going to dry that off really quick. Yeah. You wanted the snowman? Yes. And making that into a snow globe. For me, it was both the gingerbread and the snowman on this set. Trying to see what I just did with the set so that I could put those stamps away, and we could maybe do a birthday card or a heart here. Oh, here it is. And you could actually even put the sentiment of wishing you the sweetest Christmas into the globe if you wanted to, or the globe. Now I'm stuck. My oh my. I have blocked up my paper pumpkin because I have my paper pumpkin party coming up and I have to get my alternatives done. So I have that entirely blocked up right now. Hat. Okay, oh, here it is. All right. So now we have that done. Let's grab this and let's make us, well, I want to show you a trick with the jelly beans. Now the jelly beans, you will need to have some type of marker or thing that you do. Let's do birthdays, because birthdays are always a need. And you can kind of do the same thing with the birthdays if you want to. Hearts are really easy. Shamrocks are really easy because they're going to be red, pink, you know, they're a solid color. Maybe you might do, you know, well, this one has a dark part and this one has a light part, but you know, you have options here to do some different things. But jelly beans and candles are kind of a unique challenge because jelly beans are like lots of colors, right? Oh, I need the second part of the jelly bean stamp. These are the speckles that go on jelly beans. You know jelly bellies, right? Everybody loves jelly bellies. I haven't had them in ages, but I sure do like them. All right. If you take your jelly bellies and you stamp it using a very light ink, and in this case I'm going to use beige, maybe. I've already lost beige. Well, sugar shoot darn, guys. How can you lose the stamp pad? I feel really, really silly right about now because I don't see it anywhere. Ah, here it is. It slid back behind. All right. Stamp off, because that's not what we want. And come back in. See how light that is? You can take your different colors. I'm going to save the top. And let's just grab, okay, time to pull this just down and be faster. So jelly beans are like, you can color over the top of that basic gray. Look at that. You do the same thing with the candles. So you could choose different colors, do what I'm doing here. These are the watercolor pencils, which works super duper good for just coloring. I'm not going to use markers. This is what I like to use. Add me another red one in here. I like red jelly beans. Jelly beans are blue. So I feel like these pencils are a worthwhile investment, because not only can you just color like I am right now with them, you can also watercolor with them. Not what I'm going to do today with them, but you can definitely do this. Sorry, I got a little quiet there. So how did everybody's week go? Anything special you're doing? I know some people might be out and about with some trips that you might be making with family. This might be my popcorn. If you make sure that your pencil is flat on one side that you're coloring on, you will get a smoother image. Or I shouldn't say image, you'll get smoother strokes from it. But this is how I would suggest you do jelly beans, just because jelly beans have lots of colors, lots of flavors, and you want to capture that when you do that for your family person. This one doesn't have a flat edge yet. Any jelly bean fans here? My favorite Jelly Belly is the buttered popcorn, which seems kind of crazy. Where's my purple at? We gotta have a grape one, right? And this one is probably going to run a little long, as you guys can see here. I want to stop with this. I was going to go do the, I was going to do the, what are those called? Candles. But we're going to pass on the candles just because I want to try and make some, a card, maybe. You might have to bail for this. Oh, I can relate to that. And again, this is one you just kind of line up, and I think I'm going to stamp off that this time and then stamp and see what it looks like. All right, I like it better second generation. Now this is, again, a great set, not just for holidays. And the reason actually I got the winter set was because I had invested in this one. And I thought, well, I already have the punch, and I will need to come up with some Christmas card ideas, so I might as well do this one. I would really like to go up north to make a trip and watch the orcas. We are very close, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours from the Wanda Fuca, and all of the orcas and all the stuff that comes with them. So let me block these guys up before I lose them. They're tiny. All right, so let's just kind of play with the papers along to see what we can create. Fast card. This works for gingerbread, I think. The red, by the way, is really pretty on the brown. But let's do this for gingerbread. I have one of the Tombow tapes right now that's giving, it's like the first one I've had in ages. It's doubled back on itself, so I'm wondering how old this is that I found. I'm sure you guys can relate to finding stuff and being like, oh my gosh. I'm just going to stick a band. And remember, I have no rhyme or reason here for what I'm doing. I just want to put that out there. I am simply putting cards together as I kind of see fit. And I want to get myself a narrow strip of this gold. Make it 4 inches by 1 inch. Who knows, guys, you might be looking at a future Christmas card. And remember that just changing up what you're doing, changing it up color-wise, you can create something entirely different looking. And we're going to need a sentiment for this. So just color block that, but left my trim around. Grab my little, oh, he's cute. You guys, he's cute. I know I get excited over the silliest things. We also, you'll see, guys, I'm having to change my email provider, so you guys might get an email that just says, hey, you're on the email list, continue to subscribe. So please know that that really is me. Nobody hacked me. I just have had a double of a time figuring out a program that works for me in the middle of all my other stuff, and even now, like, I can't figure out how to do an email out of there. But once I figure out how to do it, this whole thing should be smooth itself out. Ha ha ha. All right, so we have 1 card, and so you guys will have to come back for some more cards. I think these would be great stamps to use in your scrapbooks just for embellishment. So here we have that piece of it down. So let's add a sentiment on this, and there's like the sweetest. And I'm going to do something a little wonky with this. I'm going to grab that one I said I thought would fit inside a jar. I'm going to grab a jar. Nope, I'm going to put it on this. I'm going to grab my espresso. That's solid. cuteness, guys. I know, right, Di? This set really is super duper cute. And when you start playing with it, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I can use that punch, and I can use it for birthday cards. I can use it for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's. And the list goes on and on. Christmas cards, winter cards. Oh my goodness. And notice, guys, that I still managed to get blue ink all over the place. So I want to show you, just before we sign off, an up and coming release, kind of a sneak peek that's going to come out, you know, catalogs, you know, they're going to come out. So this is really cute. Needs a little... This set right here is Jar of... so the first one is Sweet Jar, Jar of Joy. And I put the link in the description. So Jar of Joy is the one more seasonal orientated. This one is birthdays, I guess Easter, Valentine's Day, shamrocks. St. Patrick's Day, shamrocks. Which for Baltimore, I know is like a big day. St. Patrick's Day. Okay. And I'm gonna glue dot this guy down. Oh, you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw in some peppermints, because peppermints are cute. It's just the big giant ones. Those are their huge ones. Teeny meaty ones right here. And to add some color, I'm going to put these peppermints on, and that, guys, is going to be one of my giveaways. And I didn't even get to use the paper that I'm going to give away. So let me show you the two giveaways. I have some Christmas paper that I found, and I have an extra peppermints. Actually, I have a bunch, because peppermints you can still buy, but I have a bunch of peppermints because I just thought they were the cutest thing ever, and then they weren't available. So when they became available, you know, as I'm trying to figure out this whole Stampin' Up thing and how it works. You gotta do what you gotta do. Isn't this cute, you guys? So what do you think? First holiday card of the year. And I'm gonna cover up his little belly buttons and put, all right, all right, this is cuteness with those little jelly belly going on there. What do you think? So come back on Monday and I'll have the rest of this figured out for cards. If you are the StampItWay kit and die, that would be you, because you bought one of the extra kits. So you want to come. But go ahead and give me some numbers. You have some paper that'll come in a 6x6. And that, let me grab my numbers over here. Where did they go? Now that I brought all this paper out, it's like super silly. All right. But that bow is like super cute. The bow paper, 24 from Die. But I just think, anyway, we're going to use some of this because I think like with the holiday stuff, it'll be really, really cute. Maureen. Hey, Maureen. Barbara's skipping. Oh, yeah, I was going to give you the sneak peek. Where did I put this paper? So this is paper that's going to come out, and you know, I cannot. Peaceful Days, I think, is the name of it. So this will be out, like, I think December. I don't know, September. I can't keep track of when stuff is coming out. So it's that cloud. Isn't it pretty? Super cute, right? Love this piece. So this paper is coming out, and it has cute embellishments with it. These little flowers, hues of blue. And that's your cloud, your misty, and your navy. I have two of you guys. Nobody's exactly on the money. Comes out and says, thank you, Maureen. I don't try to be dense about this stuff, but guys, I'm telling you, it is extremely hard to keep track. I thought that CTMH was insane with the 2-month catalog. I have to eat my words for that because it's not as insane as every month. And having things come out a couple different directions. So catalogs are ordered. Y'all should have a catalog no later than I think the 7th. But I understand that they ship out at the end of August. Actually, that's a kind of cute paper with that too, but I need a little bit. All right, I only have 2 of you up here, and neither one of you got the I don't like that either. Neither one got the, does that look good? Okay. Oh my gosh, all these colors I have that do not work. All right, back to the drawing board time. So Maureen and Di, you both will get the paper. I'm saving my peppermints for somebody who got it right on the nose. So we have to try again on that. But send me your information and I will get these little 12 by 12 papers, of which you'll be able to create something amazing. I know you guys will. I just know you guys will. And you'll have it to be able to do some cards with it, okay? All right. So folks, thank you for coming, having a good time with me. Congratulations to Di and to Maureen for winning the 6x6 papers, and we'll definitely be sending that out to you. All right, have a good one. Take care now. Bye-bye.